Hi YouTube, and this is JTrain997, and I'm back this time with my review of the DC Comics Unlimited Series 2 Injustice Batman figure. Now, get a good look at him here in the packaging. This is a figure I'll go ahead and say I kind of wasn't really sure if I wanted to pick up because he's a very odd-looking Batman. There's a lot of things about the costume I don't like, and we'll get on to that more once he's out of the packaging. But eventually I broke down and got him. I got that in fresh to the shelf madness, I guess. Just couldn't stand seeing something new and not owning it. But the only real noticeable thing about the box art is that over here, which I believe was early concept art, he's got a much more Michael Keaton-esque Batman symbol with the points on the bottom, and the sides being much more rounded. Well, I mean, both of them have points on the bottom, but it's really more rounded, much like Michael Keaton's Batman movie. Over here, it's much more the standard, normal Batman that we're used to nowadays. Which I kind of like this one better, so unfortunately they changed that up. On the back of the packaging here, a very nice picture of him walking out of the shadows. And I'm not even going to bother reading this because it's just a generic read-up about Batman. Everyone knows Batman's story at this point, some stats. Of course, he is the only other figure in Series 2, of course, is Wonder Woman. Of course, Superman was from Series 1. So that being said, not too much to say about the packaging. Let's open him up. And here we have Injustice Batman out of packaging. Now, getting a quick 360 of the character. Having him out, he's still kind of a mixed bag for me. I'm still really not crazy about the way just the overall design Batman got in Injustice. I mean, excuse me. People thought the New 52 had too much armor. This is way too much armor in my personal opinion, but my most hated aspect of the redesign is the mask. I don't know, it makes his mouth look too small, and those silver blotches above his eyes just make the whole thing look like he's just surprised. It's horrible. Other than that, I mean, to give him credit for what they put there, they did put a lot of detail in on the figure at least. I don't know if I'd say he's a perfect representation of the character from the game. He does look a lot like him, but I think in the game the color seemed a bit darker. So, getting lifted up. There's some nice detail on the back there. You can see where the utility belt connects, so that's cool. So as far as his articulation, Batman does a full 360 at the head, slide up and down. Arms got to about here on a ball joint, no problem going back despite the cape, which is really nice. They do not turn at the bicep, it would appear, so that's unfortunate. Single joint at the elbow, kind of a stiff joint, but it'll move, and yep, hinged wrist. So that's a really nice little touch. I know everyone's going on and on about how whenever we get Damian in the Batman Unlimited line, he's going to be the first one of the Mattel figures to have the finger articulation, which is cool. It looks like there is an ab joint there, but the way they've designed it, it's got literally no motion. I mean, just the armor design, you can't make a crunch or anything. Legs go forward to here. Can't really go back at all. Knee joint is very, very stiff. It can only bend about that much. Quadricep joint, looks like it does a full 360. And an ankle joint, which goes back to here and forward to here. So, the articulation on this Batman is really, really limited, which is a shame because in the game, you know, there's a lot of different fighting poses that would have been cool to recreate because they're making them. I've seen them online now. They still haven't hit store shelves in my area. They're making an Injustice Joker, an Injustice Superman, and even in Wave 4, we're getting another Injustice Batman, and it's called Gunmetal Batman. Not really sure what the difference is because there weren't any pictures when I looked him up. So a lot of people are passing on this guy, and I can't really fault him for it. He's just a bizarre-looking Batman, and a lot of his articulation is gone. You know, they could have given us a darker paint scheme. They could have given us, you know, gadgets, something to make this figure a little more desirable, but they didn't. At the end of the day, you get kind of a crazy-looking Batman, and that's all you get. Depending on what store you get him at, some Walmarts are carrying these, I think about $15. Toys R Us wants $20. He's much easier to find at Toys R Us, but I gotta say, and I hate saying this about this line, but I might wait for clearance on this guy, because there's an abundance at my Toys R Us, there's a few at my Walmart, and, you know, with another Batman line out there pumping, you know, modern Batman, Dark Knight Returns Batman, I can't see the demand for this guy being too high, except for those people who really, really love the game, and even then, only slightly. So he's an okay figure, but his overall design makes him fall flat, and that being said, this is JTrain997, and I'll see you soon, YouTube.